Tell me something that is unknown to everyone as far as the dental space is concerned, the people around you are concerned.
So I think nobody knows this. About 2011-12, I was almost ready to quit dentistry.
How did you get into dentistry? Aesthetics में जाने का क्या सोचा? What was that curiosity जो आपको यहाँ लेके आई? तो ऐसा क्या कोई moment रहा है जहाँ पे you got goosebumps while discussing a patient case or handling a patient और कुछ लगाओ कि हाँ ये तो शायद मैंने कुछ ऐसा कर दिया है या मुझसे कुछ ऐसा हो गया है. कहीं पे एक फेज आया था that you got an award for the new practice of the year and that is in the very first year of your practice.
Yeah.
कुछ याद है कि ऐसा कैसे हुआ and more importantly how did you feel about that? What is that one thing that you feel कि cosmetic dentistry में तब गलत हो रहा था and now you're improving?
If I just talk about myself, when I started, I was just hyper focusing on the teeth. And practice करने के 2-3 साल के बाद, something that I really learned that all the smiles are more facially driven. I have this patient, she's an influencer. And we did her smile and her smile looks amazing. And she did a story for us. And मुझे नहीं पता था कि she's going to do a story. And our phone started ringing like anything. And we were getting messages. And I was like, what happened? Did we do any marketing activity or what happened? I'm not joking. After that story, for the next 2 years, everybody wanted that patient smile.
If somebody is gonna ask me that question, मैं तो शायद बोल देता हूँ कि यार मेडिसिन में नहीं हुआ इसलिए डेंटिस्ट्री में चला गया.
I think I have the same answer.
If you are tired of sounding like every other dentist on the internet, this episode is for you. Because the truth is very simple. Patients do not connect with your treatment. They connect with your intent. Welcome to Season 5, Episode 5 on The Underdog Dentist Show. I'm your host, Dr. Girish Likhiani. Today, we are going to take a deep dive behind the growth in dentistry. Not hacks, not trends, not desperation marketing. Rather, clarity, patience, proof, and personality. Here is what you are going to learn. How to build a brand that does not feel fake even when the market is crowded. How to market without sounding needy, salesy, or performative. How to define your long-term goal so your content and clinic move in one single direction. More importantly, how to stop copying, start showing, and let your work speak with receipts. How to play the long game when algorithm changes. And more importantly, when your brain wants instant results. We are also going to get into the uncomfortable stuff that nobody wants to admit. Why switching agencies every few months quietly pushes your brand backward. Why consistency beat talent when you are building the trust online. And last but not the least, why patients buy people and why your personality is not optional. If you are a GP, a specialist, a clinic owner, or a dentist still figuring out your lane, you are going to leave with a clean framework you can apply this week. Let's take a deep dive. And a quick ask before we move forward. Follow the show wherever you are listening and share this with a friend who is still stuck in the noise. Let's roll. Hey everyone, welcome to the 5th episode of Season 5 on The Underdog Dentist Show. Today we have somebody जिनको मैं शायद 7 साल या 10 साल से जानता हूँ. I don't even remember. But I'll give you the backstory in the later half of the video. Today you'll be meeting with Dr. Harleen Gandhi. She has an amazing practice in South Delhi. And she's one of the best Invisalign speakers, communicator in the aesthetic dentistry. And, she is somebody who is managing difficult and most crucial cases when it comes to veneers and aesthetic dentistry. I would like to welcome Dr. Halim, and, I'll just shoot questions at you because uh, I feel that's the best way to take maximum out of your knowledge and get the people to know about you and your personality and even your practice.
Thank you so much. 7 to 10 years. That's a backstory even I want to know because what I remember is 5 years. So it's going to be an interesting one. Let's see.
So let's keep the audience hooked. I feel थोड़ा जल्दी हो जाएगा इनको.
Yeah.
Let's keep the spoiler away and yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. So formal introductions aside, at the Underdog Dentist Show, we believe that थोड़ा सा candid information हो. The introduction should be थोड़ा सा casual, just to get to know the person and how they have been doing their things in the space of dentistry. So Dr. Halim,
Yes.
for people meeting you for the first time, how would you describe the Harleen story of Miraki Dental Studio, the origin, and how you have been practicing dentistry so far?
So it's a place where patients come first, where human connection is very important. It's a place where there is one person who is trying to do so many things and trying to be a little perfect at every uh, point in that journey. So yeah.
Okay. And, let's say something that, if we have to ask you that, okay, tell me something that is uh, unknown to everyone, that nobody knows about you as far as the dental space is concerned, the people around you are concerned, something that.
Yeah, this is very interesting. So I think nobody knows this, but I graduated in 2009, and about 2011-12, I was almost ready to quit dentistry. So I had done fellowship in clinical research, and when I moved to Delhi in 2013, I was looking for jobs in fellowship, like in clinical research. I, in fact, gave an interview at Max Neiman. Then a very interesting conversation happened with one of the doctors,
Mhm.
and it changed the whole story. And I got back into dentistry. So I think that's something that nobody knows.
Okay. But this is after 2013.
Mhm.
इससे पहले क्या हुआ? मतलब हाउ डिड यू गेट इनटू डेंटिस्ट्री? एस्थेटिक्स में जाने का क्या सोचा? व्हाई वाज़ व्हाट वाज़ दैट क्यूरियोसिटी जो आपको यहाँ लेके आई? एंड इन सिंपलर टर्म्स लोग बोलते हैं डेंटिस्ट्री में क्यों हो?
Mhm.
इफ समबडी इज़ गोना आस्क मी दैट क्वेश्चन, मैं तो शायद बोल देता हूँ कि यार मेडिसिन में नहीं हुआ इसलिए डेंटिस्ट्री में चला गया.
I think I have the same answer.
नो बट
But
व्हाई एस्थेटिक डेंटिस्ट्री?
I was always very attracted to smiles. So in 2013, when I actually decided that, okay, this is what I'm going to do, and I had an inclination towards reading people's faces and trying to understand their frame of the face. It was something that always attracted me, and the journey really started at NYU when I did my fellowship in cosmetic dentistry. That's where it all started.
ठीक है, दिस इज अबाउट हाउ यू looked at these things and what was your perspective about these things. But let's say कि कुछ we are human beings, we are connected to stories, we are connected to scenarios and people relate to stories and scenarios. तो ऐसा क्या कोई मोमेंट रहा है जहाँ पे you got goosebumps while discussing a patient case or handling a patient, or even patient giving you a feedback about the kind of treatment that you have given and the kind of feedback they have gotten after the treatment is done. Treatment होने के बाद बहुत सारे दोस्त हैं, फैमिली मेम्बर्स हैं, तो कोई ऐसा है जिसमें यू गॉट सम काइंड ऑफ गूज बम्स और कुछ लगाओ कि हाँ ये तो शायद मैंने कुछ ऐसा कर दिया है या मुझसे कुछ ऐसा हो गया है.
Hmm. There are hundreds and hundreds of these kind of stories. So the kind of patients I'm dealing with are very emotionally vulnerable. They are at a phase जहाँ पे probably उनकी personal या professional life में कुछ अटका हुआ है because of their looks or something. So there are so many stories where just with their smile makeover किसी की शादी हो गई है, किसी का प्रॉबेबली उसको जॉब अपॉर्च्युनिटी बेटर मिल गई है, एंड देन वी हैव अ लॉट ऑफ इंस्पायरिंग मॉडल्स एंड कोई ब्यूटी पेजेंट बन गया है, समबडी हैज वन दैट टाइटल, किसी को प्रॉबेबली रोल मिल गया है मूवी में. सो देयर आर सो मेनी ऑफ इट, एंड आई थिंक that's the thing that really connects me to aesthetic dentistry. Um, it's that human story, how life changing it can be, how inspiring it can be, and I'm just so grateful to be in that position to make that difference in somebody's life.
ठीक है, आई थिंक हो गया, इंट्रोडक्शन हो गया, वी गॉट टू नो अबाउट द बैक स्टोरी एंड हाउ एंड व्हाई यू एंडेड अप इन एस्थेटिक इंडस्ट्री। बट थोड़ा सा करियर की गाइडेंस भी दे देते हैं, एंड आई फील इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर एवरीवन। In India, we feel there are amazing clinicians doing amazing work in aesthetic dentistry in all sorts of dental fields, or rather, I would say specialities. You have done your aesthetic oral rehab at the NYU University. क्या चेंज देखते हो? और आई शुड पुट इट दिस वे कि इंडिया में आज क्या चेंज देखते हो, और जब आपने वहाँ से यू डन योर कोर्स, तब में क्या डिफरेंस आया है, एटलीस्ट द माइंडसेट ऑफ पीपल, द माइंडसेट ऑफ डेंटिस्ट्स, एंड व्हाट you took from that course, and that is what you are applying right now, and how you are helping people just because of that.
Great question. So when I went to NYU, that was around end of 2013. So I'm from Kanpur,
Okay.
and the kind of exposure I had then was very limited. The dentistry we were practicing is very rudimentary. You know, पहले अब नहीं. So when I went there and I saw all the speakers and they all shared their clinical practices, private practices, I was amazed. मैंने इससे पहले किसी डेंटिस्ट को कैमरा यूज़ करते नहीं देखा था। फॉरगेट अबाउट द स्टूडियो लाइट्स, एंड एवरीथिंग वाज़ सो स्वैंकी, मतलब आई वाज़ माइंड ब्लोन, जैसे आई वाज़ लाइक अ किड इन अ कैंडी स्टोर कि ओके ये भी हो सकता है, दैट वे। सो that experience really opened my mind and it showed me that possibility ये भी हो सकता है, थोड़ा मेहनत करना पड़ेगा क्योंकि यहाँ पे भी there was nobody to handhold you to that level, but I think it gave me a dream and the possibility. And if I compare it to now, then now Indian dentistry is amazing. We are just at par, and I think uh, the big difference is social media, because जो चीज़ पहले देखने के लिए कहीं जाना पड़ता था, we all have that exposure,
Right.
everybody is well aware, and that way. So yes.
Okay. I'll just put a stupid thought that I have in mind. The connection of cameras in dentistry and देखना कि ये कैमरा है, it's just like, you know, जैसे लोग एक डेंटिस्ट को स्टेथोस्कोप लगा करके टीवी एड में देखते हैं। क्वेश्चन वही होता है कि ये स्टेथोस्कोप क्या कर रहा है। सिमिलरली स्टार्टिंग में हम लोग भी सोचते थे कि ये कैमरा क्लिनिक के अंदर क्या कर रहा है। राइट, मूविंग ऑन, आई थिंक ठीक है, वी हैव गॉट टू नो कि what are the changes that you saw in dentistry during the evolution period. Let's say, everything is not about how successful you are and what kind of successful cases we have done. कुछ बातें होती हैं जहाँ पे लगता है कि यार ये शायद हम गलत कर रहे थे या गलत कर रहे हैं। सो व्हाट इज दैट वन थिंग दैट यू फील कि कॉस्मेटिक डेंटिस्ट्री में तब गलत हो रहा था, नाउ यू आर इम्प्रूविंग?
If I just talk about myself, um, when I started, I was just hyper focusing on the teeth, and I was just looking at the teeth. I was probably not looking at the face. And practice करने के 2-3 साल के बाद, this is something that nobody taught me, but over a period of time you develop that aesthetic eye, and it's something that I really learned, and that's the difference that I see, in the practice now, that all the smiles are more facially driven, and it's the face that we're changing and not the teeth.
ठीक है, इसी में ना एक एक बैरियर आता है। आई फील when you are a perfectionist, and in aesthetic dentistry you have to be a perfectionist, otherwise it's very difficult because you have to see everything from the perspective of patient.
Now you have to be crazy.
Yeah, and not only patient, but the people who are going to see that patient and look at that patient. तो वहाँ पे हम perfection or the kind of work that we put in, where do you put that boundary in this particular thing?
I think consultation is the first and the most important step. Many a times there are limitations, and you can't achieve perfection. And that communication of that limitation is very, very important. And then that madness is important, that if you can achieve that perfection, then no matter what, if you have to redo it, or if the number of hours are increasing, you have to redo it. So it's a nice balance between the madness and honesty.
So what do you say? कि पेशेंट को पता होता है उसको क्या चाहिए, या हम पेशेंट को बताते हैं कि दिस इज़ द राइट थिंग फॉर यू?
इंटरेस्टिंग क्वेश्चन। पेशेंट को कभी कभी ठीक पता होता है, और कभी कभी दे आर वेरी ड्रामेटिक. They see something and they think that they want that and it will look nice on them, but every face is different, every person is different, and you can't have a copy and paste smile. So agar patient ka perception is close to what I would also want to give them, then yes, I would agree with that patient. Otherwise, we have to explain this to the patient, that you can't have it your way. So it's a fight. It's a fight.
राइट, एंड इट्स बिकमिंग डिफिकल्ट डे बाय डे, सोशल मीडिया देखते हैं लोग एंड
Don't even ask. So I have this patient. She's an influencer, and we did her smile, and her smile looks amazing. And she did a story for us, and मुझे नहीं पता था कि she's going to do a story. And our phone started ringing like anything. And my phone was ringing, clinic's phone was ringing, and we were getting messages. And I was like, what happened? Did we do any marketing activity, or what happened? So everybody, and I'm not joking, after that story for the next 2 years, everybody wanted that patient smile. And they were like, I want her smile. I'm not taking the name. I'm like, but you're not her, you know? It's a difference that you need to understand. So yeah.
and most of the dentists and students and everybody watching us, what all things goes into the entire process of shade matching, the shape, the size, and everything. Moving on. So I'm just connecting the dots here. You did your course through the New York University. Then you started your practice with the fresh mindset in aesthetic dentistry and how you are reshaping lives of people. कहीं पे एक phase आया था that you got an award for the new practice of the year, and that is in the very first year of your practice.
Yes.
तो कुछ याद है कि ऐसा कैसे हुआ, and more importantly, how did you feel about that?
Very deep question. Um, so I think the day we started the practice, the first day we invested into a camera. I was very clear. Budget nahi tha. You were not making that kind of money. But I was like, I need a DSLR camera. I need the macro lenses, and I need the twin flash. And we were recording our cases from day one. And I think it made a lot of difference, because when you are taking pictures of your work, you're also looking at it with a critical eye, you will improve. And the second thing that it really helped was that our lab communication really became better, right? So the technician could see what I was seeing. So our results became better. Our shade matching was excellent. And the third intangible benefit was that we have like thousands of cases recorded, you know, and we could put it on social media, we could showcase it to our patients. So I think camera made a lot of difference. And we don't think about these benefits that camera se kya hi hoga, but it improves the quality of your work, and it goes a long way.
Right, and you can look in retrospective that ये केस इस तरीके से हुआ था और आज what
Yeah,
I'm doing.
you are critical about your own work, and you become better with over a period of time. That's what I said earlier. I was just looking at teeth, and then when I was taking pictures, I was criticizing my own work. कि ये ऐसे कर सकते थे. So these are the things that nobody taught, but you develop that aesthetic eye when you're analyzing your work.
Exactly. Hmm. Let's move on to some philosophical and patient psychological questions, like how patients are and what kind of needs do they have, how our philosophy and Dr. Haleem's philosophy is reshaping their lives, their smile, and the way they appear to other people. I've read it on your website, I think.
Mhm.
You have written it's never too late, you know, to build a smile.
Yes.
तो ऐसे किस तरीके के पेशेंट्स मिल जाता है आपको?
So of late, I've started seeing a lot of middle-aged women.
वाह!
You know, our life expectancy has increased, and we all want to age gracefully. So I'm seeing a lot of these women's. Uh, they want to age better. So yeah, there is no age, to look good. And the other, I see a lot of youngsters also. As I said, they want better opportunities in life, whether it is personally, professionally. So yeah, my my patient pool is emotionally vulnerable
Okay.
and somebody who is aesthetically very conscious, and they want to look good.
ठीक है. And in aesthetic dentistry, we talk about the eye color, the skin color, the texture, the tone, hue, value, chroma. तो you know इसमें ना I feel as a dentist also, and this is a continuation of the last couple of questions that I've asked. Perfection or the kind of work that you're doing. कि कितने level तक will you know tweak it down, the hue, the chroma, even the skin color, and exactly मुझे personally लगता है, and this is what I've heard a lot from a lot of dentists who are into aesthetic dentistry. I'm a perfectionist.
Mm.
The problem is how you keep a mental balance, and how do you make sure that your psyche is streamlined and you are not going overboard.
Personally, I am in my Zen state when I am doing my veneer preps, I'm delivering those cases. But I think to maintain that balance, you have to be very, very selective about your patient. You may do great work, but still your patient may not be happy. And that is the patient psychology. So, setting the expectations right is the first thing. And with experience, you learn that, So, I spend a lot of time during my consultations getting to understand what the patient want and whether it is biologically possible for that patient or not. And that communication is the key. कि patient को समझ में आया या नहीं. And अगर patient को नहीं समझ में आया and I feel that I won't, even after my best, I won't be able to make the patient happy, then it's a no. So that's how you maintain your balance. And and of course, I mean, given your best, I don't care about the number of the hours I'm working or the money. कोई redos हो रहे हैं तो पैसे ज़्यादा लग रहे हैं, it's okay, you know. uh, you have to bear some losses, that's okay. But yeah, perfection comes at a cost.
Interesting.
A cost of letting go of some patients and cost of repeat work, number of hours, both.
Okay. अभी हमने थोड़ा सा बहुत अच्छी चीज़ों पे बात करी है, एंड आई रिमेंबर दैट जब हम प्लान कर रहे थे फॉर दिस पॉडकास्ट, आई टोल्ड यू वन स्पेसिफिक वर्ड कि कुछ कड़वे सवाल, कुछ कड़वी बातें भी करें, एंड आई फील दिस इज़ अ नेसेसरी इवल. हम सिर्फ वो केसेस नहीं डील कर रहे होते हैं शायद जो डायरेक्टली हमारे पास आ रहे हैं. देर आर अदर केसेस जो कहीं से फेल हो गए, कहीं से somebody is not getting the right information or maybe the treatment that they've got. It looks devilish to talk about the shortcomings of other dentists, but what do you feel कि कहाँ एक gap रहता है? Is it in the communication? Is it in the marketing? Is it in the consultation of the patient? Diagnosis में गलती करते हैं या patient expectation और delivery में एक gap रहता है?
I think the biggest gap is in the diagnosis. I've seen a lot of patients where probably the patient needed orthodontic treatment, but the teeth were brutally cut down and crowns were done. Or that is the first thing. I mean, diagnosis is, I feel, missing. Second, I would say uh, people have to develop that aesthetic eye, you know. A crown done by an aesthetic dentist, or let's say somebody with an aesthetic eye, will be very different from somebody who's not having that eye, you know. So that knowledge of line angles, embrasures, the correct length, the correct hue chroma value, of course. So that's important, and I feel that many a times gets lost. And then reading the face is the most important thing. I cannot stress enough on that, because I'm doing a lot of revision dentistry now. In fact, 70% of my practice is now revision dentistry. Somebody has got some veneers done something, and then we are repeating it again because it was not the correct length, because it was not the correct color, you know.
Right.
So having that eye is important, and anybody can develop it. You just have to spend some time learning it. And also, I feel working with the good technician is important. You can't expect that you will do great work and save some bucks.
Right.
These two things don't go in tandem, you know. If you want to give your best, you have to work with the best minds, and that team building and everything has to be a part of the whole thing.
Exactly. So we talked about aesthetic dentistry. Now, if I say I'll be moving ahead with the same topic, or I may even say that I'll be divulging into a different topic altogether. We are going to talk about aligners now.
Okay.
And India mein there is this concept that every practice, even that is being run by a specialist, focuses more on general dentistry, because at the end of the day, bread and butter. How do you see ki agar if I'm, let's say I'm a dentist, general dentist who want to promote aligners and help my patient with aligners, how do you see my end goal approaching there? One. Second is, if I start talking about aligners, don't you think I'll be radicalizing my marketing, my promotion towards a particular regime? And more importantly, why I'm saying this, because I've seen a lot of practices while being connected with them through marketing, and we help them a lot in marketing advertising. We feel a lot of practices say that रूट कैनाल तो कहीं और करा लेते हैं, बट विनियर्स हमारे पास कराता है. This is what people do. So instead of getting the entire treatment done at a single place, people build that notion कि यार शायद ये लोग तो सिर्फ aligners ही करते हों. How do you see that?
First, I would say do what is right for the patient. Do not run after a particular treatment. Yes, over a period of time, we do develop experience and expertise, but do not try to promote one procedure. That is one. Now, if you are a GP and you want to become an aligner specialist, I would say join it. It's really good. It's fun. You have the overall control of the treatment, and to begin with, you need to develop that ortho eye. You know that this is what your patient needs, and then how to communicate it to the patient. And you'll have to initially invest time in learning biomechanics. That I feel is the most important thing. A lot of time dentists think that the treatment planning is AI driven and they really don't have to do anything. But trust me, it is you who is driving the treatment planning, and understanding of the biomechanics is the most important thing. It's a non-negotiable. So, yeah, don't run after one treatment, and do whatever the patient needs, whether you provide it or you don't provide it, but make sure that patient gets it. And one person cannot be good at everything. I mean, you develop your expertise and you can be good at one procedure, two procedures, and that's eventually how the practice filters out. So अच्छा है अगर पेशेंट कहीं पे कुछ और करा के आ रहा है ठीक है बट दे आर कमिंग बैक टू यू फॉर व्हाट यू आर good at. So I don't see that as a challenge.
So jack of all trades, master of none. But इसके आगे है, he is always better than master of some. Okay, moving on. ठीक है, हमने we talked about कि एक और it's not gonna be too orthodontic. who look at just the aligners, and everybody cannot be best at doing everything. So, what are the deal breakers, or let's say the checklist कि ये तो होना ही चाहिए in your treatment process?
For aligners, the first thing is you should know what you are going to treat, the diagnosis. Very important. Uh, Treatment planning, I cannot stress enough on it. As I already said, understanding the biomechanics, understanding the treatment planning. Because I see a lot of aligner companies, what they are doing is that they say that they'll plan the case, give you the aligners, and you have to do nothing. So I don't believe in this concept of you have to do nothing. You have to learn how to drive your whole plan, and that is a non-negotiable. And of course, the case records and patient education, all that will help, but that is all secondary. The primary is understanding the science, what you're doing.
Right. I have a follow-up question to this.
Mhm.
How do you decide कि communication is much more important, or rather in a particular case the follow-up feedback of the patient is much important whenever we are looking at an aligner case? And मैं ऐसा क्यों बोल रहा हूँ? Because the narrative in the Indian ecosystem right now is either braces or aligners. It should be braces and aligners. Where do you see bridging, or rather a bridge building in these two regimes?
So, as I said, do what is best for the patient. It is never braces or aligners, it is never braces versus aligners. See what your patient wants. I am a person who is all about the patient. Patient has an issue with wearing the braces. Of course, I'll give aligner as an option. There is a case that cannot be treated with aligners. There are limitations to the aligners. Of course, the patient is not getting the option of aligners. So, at the end of the day, the clinical condition is the king. You cannot choose between a treatment. It is what the patient wants. And many a times it's also the timelines of the patient, it is the profession, then of course the finances, it's important.
Right.
So the narrative should never be braces versus aligners, this aligner versus that aligners. You should put your patient first. That's what I believe in.
Exactly. ठीक है, ये बात हो गई एक स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड अप्रोच की, मीनिंग पेशेंट ने बोला टेढ़े मेढ़े दांत हैं और अलाइनर्स, ब्रेसेस, डिपेंडिंग ऑन पेशेंट्स नीड्स। एक मल्टीडिसिप्लिनरी केस आता है जहाँ पे मे बी यू हैव टू गिव मल्टीपल ट्रीटमेंट ऑप्शंस, and after that you'll be able to approach to the right result. Let's say for an example aligners and then continuing with veneers. How do you see such kind of approach working in your practice?
So I'm doing a lot of orthoprosto cases. In fact, I feel that probably we have the most documented cases in India for orthoprosto because the nature of my practice is such that a lot of patients come because they don't like their smile. They want me to do a veneer, but if the bite is not correct, then I would want to do an aligner first and then follow up with a veneer. So we are doing a lot of digital dentistry, and we are using help of a lot of softwares, exocad and smile architect and so many softwares, wherein it really helps me to plan the treatment right from the stage of ortho where I want to keep the veneers. It's beautiful. And I feel that if I have to do a orthoprosto case, then I would any given day prefer aligner and veneer because I get the control of digital dentistry and I do more facially driven treatment planning rather than just tightening the wires, where my end goal is not defined. So it's like I'm able to begin with the end in the mind, and that's what drives the whole planning.
Right. I've read this somewhere. Like,
This is used by Dr. Peter Dawson. Begin with the end in the mind.
right. I think I've also read it somewhere in one of the Steve Jobs books. And you can only connect dots looking backwards.
Yes,
Right. Okay.
I think that's very true. I feel we live life or we measure success or analyze life retrospectively. It's always in the hindsight. बाद में देख के लगता है कि क्या किया.
And that will be doing shortly. 7
Okay.
साल 10 साल.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. We talked about a lot of theory now. कि कैसे होता है, क्या होता है, कैसे पेशेंट्स आते हैं, what kind of approach they have, what kind of approach we provide, and Dr. Haleen is helping them in the clinic. थोड़ा टेक स्टैक की बात करते हैं. I feel you can't do all of these things manually. I'm sure that you have a lot of devices with you, and it becomes crucial for every dentist. Ab, when you are at a certain level, you can invest in technology. But for a dentist जो भी start करना चाहता है, how do you look a 3D CAD cam, or how do you look at OPG, in-house, having the entire system, scanners for that matter. How do you look this from a perspective of a dentist जिसने अभी start किया है, कहाँ उसको invest करना चाहिए या नहीं करना चाहिए. More importantly, क्या उसका mindset होना चाहिए in the coming years, tech first or waiting for some time, getting the education, and then maybe thinking about tech.
This is such an excellent question. So, if you are a beginner, what I would advise is that invest in a scanner. Don't look at scanner as a tool for scanning. Scanner is much, much, much more beyond that. Uh, it's a tool that can help you in patient education and many, many more things. It helps you with your consultation and everything. So, if you really want to invest into technology, I would say scanner is the first thing. Forget CAD CAM, forget CBCT, OPG, whatever, but scanning. I saw a great benefit with that. I have, by the way, 3 scanners in my practice.
Yeah.
And पहला स्कैनर भी काम कर रहा था. But then when I bought the second scanner, I saw a benefit that I could not do with my first scanner.
Right.
And then I got another scanner because there was some additional tool that my second scanner didn't have. And there are intangible benefits of all these things. So I would say scanner is the thing that you should invest in. And looking back, if I'll say that how these tools have helped me, uh, the first inflection point in my practice was when I invested into digital dentistry. When I got the scanner and the CAD cam. That's when I saw a major growth in my practice. And many a times we think, in-house CAD cam होगा तो पैसा बचेगा. Let me tell you, पैसा नहीं बचता है. It's your timelines improve, your work quality improves, and you see more, you know. Probably your number of cases will increase, and that is what happens. So yeah, that's what happened for me.
And you can customize even more based on the requirement of the patient.
Yeah, that you can do. But many a times you have to look at the intangible benefits of all these technology. The technology is not just what it says it does. And there is a patient perspective shift that I never thought about.
Right.
They will visualize your practice as something else. And probably you don't have to sell your treatment after that.
Perfect.
There will be a quite, you
You're checking all the
influence.
boxes.
Quite influence. Yeah.
Right. ठीक है. You talked about 3 scanners in the practice. अब कैसा लगेगा मैं 3 स्कैनर लेके कर रहा. So I'm assuming you are deeply investing or heavily investing in the education of your team. Staff को क्या आता है, कैसे सिखाना है, and how do you take everything into account so that your team understands on a similar level that ठीक है, this is something that needs to be done during the diagnosis part or the consultation part, or during the communication itself, because the first interaction is never with the dentist.
Yeah.
It is with the treatment coordinator. How do you see and manage this particular issue in the clinic?
So I'm a people's person. I believe that it is never one man army or one woman army. So team building is very important, and I'm mostly hiring for the attitude and training for the skill set. So once I have identified the right person for the that role, then we invest a lot in training that person, right from कैसे बात करनी है to what should be your chair side mannerisms, or if you've got a technology, then we make sure that the companies are training them, and I'm training myself. So the number of hours go into that. And the eye for detail is not limited just to the patients, is also like you're observing that okay, this is what the person could have done better, so you give constant feedback and you evaluate, and that's how people learn over a period of time. And once you've done that, make sure that you retain that person. Big believer of retention.
I feel now we should, reveal the secret.
I am waiting for that.
Let's talk about marketing, branding, and the kind of promotion that she is doing for her practice, and how it should be for every dentist running a world class dental center in a city like Delhi. If I can recall, I found one of the posts of yours in a Facebook group back in the year 2014.
How that 2014?
Yeah, it's even more
That's
than
not even when I started my practice. I started
Exa-
my own practice in 2016.
exactly. So I'm coming to the point.
Interesting.
So you were looking for somebody who is into marketing, and you were planning to set up the practice, you were learning multiple things, and you were getting a lot of knowledge during the entire course of time. And I would not name the group, but it was not in an Indian dental Facebook community. Down the line, I saw one more similar message. It was in the year 2017. And there was a trouble that you were facing at that moment.
I think I remember that one.
Yeah. So there was this agency.
Somebody hacked into my profile.
Yeah.
Mm.
They got access to your assets on
Yeah.
the website and everything. And I don't know if you remember, but I messaged you.
I don't remember that.
Yeah. I still have the Facebook chat with me.
Wow.
I'll show you backstage.
Wow.
So, what I asked you for is what are you doing in the uh, marketing space at the moment? What the agency is doing for you, and how you have got, cheated on, or like, how they have scammed you in a particular manner. I wanted to understand the mindset of a dentist, and also at the same time the agency, because at that time I was transitioning from helping tech brands with their marketing to healthcare.
Wow.
Yeah, and you were so kind to even tell me everything. You said, I can't give you my website. I said, no, no, please just give me. I'll just do some research. I'll see what your agency is doing. I don't have any pitch for you. I'm not pitching anything. I'm just trying to understand. And I was testing waters.
Mm.
You were kind enough to give me the website. You were kind enough to give me the invoice that you have paid these people, that how much amount.
That happened?
Yeah, yeah.
I was that naive.
I feel that helped me a lot understanding the perspective of agencies and the kind of services, dentists and hospitals are getting at that time.
Wow.
Yeah. And this was an initiation for us. And okay,
2017. So that was 1 year after I started my own practice.
yeah. So backstory, we did the entire research. क्या हो रहा है, क्या चीज़ हो रही है, कौन से keywords पे rank कर रहे हो. But we never gotten back to you because we felt कि ठीक है, somebody is doing, then it's fine. But we got to know that okay, there is a lot of gap that we can fill and fix.
This is a good backstory. So in 2014, I was working at another practice, but I always saw the power of marketing. I was always attuned that way that social media is catching up, it's going to become bigger, and you have to early on adapt whatever is there, digital dentistry or marketing or social. You have to be an early adapter of anything new. So that was when I was looking for the agency, but I didn't get the permission to hire anybody. I like apni practice kholenge, then we'll see. And so when I started, from day one, we had the website, and it has always helped. It has always helped.
Right. Continuing with the branding and marketing question. Don't you feel the space of cosmetic dentistry is now crowded? And that's a good thing for the patient. Like a lot of amazing clinicians are doing the rightful job for the patients around. How do you see yourself presenting an image of a cosmetic dentist on social media, your website, even LinkedIn for that matter? How do you think people are perceptive about that? How do you see yourself, grow in the next 10 years with the similar image, or maybe, you have different plans around branding and marketing?
Crowded, yes. Am I scared? No. Um, I feel there's always space at the top. If you're good at your work, you don't need to be scared. And I always work with the blinders on. मुझे अपनी लेन में रहना है. I never compete with anybody else. My competition is always with what I was last year, you know, that way. And as far as marketing is concerned, if you're putting your work out there and if you're truly connecting with the people and you're helping the people, you're solving their problem, uh, they will always connect with you. And people buy people. They connect with your personality. You may make great teeth, but how you make the patient feel. And so it's really not about the crowd or anything. I mean, if you're good at your work, and just being good at your work is not important, showcasing your work, that how good you are at it, is also equally important. And I think, and I'm very, very thankful to you uh, in that matter, because earlier on we were just discussing कि हम कितने साल से काम कर रहे हैं, and I thought it's 3-4 years, and I was like, no, it's 5 years.
Right.
And it has been a phenomenal journey. And I've seen a lot of growth. Yes, I was doing website, we were doing Practo and other things, but we were never doing Instagram, we were not never doing social media, and I had a lot of inhibition about it. And that's when you came into picture, and you've really helped us in terms of putting our work out there. And before starting, I never knew that this was a possibility, and now a lot of people know us, even dentists know us, and yeah, it helps you in recognition as well.
Guys, budgets अब बिल्कुल बढ़ने वाले हैं.
कुछ नहीं बढ़ने वाला है.
ठीक है, this is your story about branding, marketing, and we are grateful to you, for shaping the kind of team that we have right now, the kind of vision we have for dentists, doctors, and everyone around us. But let's say if a newcomer जिसने कभी कुछ marketing नहीं किया, branding नहीं किया, and just the context of it, I may end up writing a book on it, but I believe that at least in the healthcare sector, marketing comes with a desperation. The moment you market more, you become desperate. That कुछ कर रहे हैं, कुछ तो आना चाहिए. And for a newcomer, that desperation level is super high because अभी स्टार्ट किया, पेशेंट आ नहीं रहे, मार्केटिंग में भी पैसा डाल रहे हैं, अभी भी कुछ नहीं आ रहा है. तो what's gonna be that one plan that you would give someone for the first 30 days? उसको अपना इमेज, ब्रांडिंग, मार्केटिंग किस तरीके से प्लान करना चाहिए?
I think uh, a person has to first know themselves. What is their long term goal? How they see themselves. And that would be a good starting point. And marketing, branding is not a 1 month game. I've been at it for 10 years. It's not a short goal. So define your goals, uh, plan for the long term. Even if you're doing your SEO, you know it, you've been telling me that you see nothing before 6 months. Forget 6 months, it takes more time.
Yeah.
And I feel you have to be very true to your personality. If you want to showcase yourself on social media, It's good we follow trends, even I follow it, but you have to be honest to your personality and put a little piece of your personality out there, because people are going to connect to you, no matter what. You can't copy somebody. If you are being authentic, uh, your tribe will find you.
Right.
So what I would say is, in if I have to give 3 pointers: define the long term goal, have patience, it's a good virtue to have. Third, be authentic, find your personality.
Right. And I would like to add to this. I've seen people losing patience.
Mhm.
I've seen people moving and jumping from one agency to another. What they don't realize is, even they think in some matter that, if we move to a different agency and if we move our services from one agency to another, the entire process is going to take some time.
True that.
And this throws your practice at least 2 years in the past.
You know what? It's not just about the agency. It's about every person you're working with, whether it's your front office, whether it's your assistant, whether it's your company vendor, of course, a marketing agency also. So we build we take a lot of time to build relationships and understanding each other. And अगर एकदम से result नहीं आ रहा, I feel you should be patient, Maybe the algorithm change, maybe something happened. Uh, there is a lot of loss that we bear by changing people, changing agencies, uh, and we don't really see it. So I would say ki have some patience and respect the person, not just on the deliverables.
Right. So it's like amalgam सीखा था, आज composite कर रहा है. Similar.
Yeah, there is so much change, like Instagram, when we started, there were no reels, right? There was just post. And then so many changes have happened over a period of time. Pehle hashtags the, abhi keywords hain. You have to adapt. And your agency is also learning with you. Cut some slack to everybody.
Right. And to learn more on Instagram, she is gonna launch a course soon.
No, no ways.
Okay. So this was amazing. Like having such a great discussion. We got to know about you, your practice, your vision, and how you helped us and how you are helping the patients. I thank you so much for, joining the conversation today.
Thank you so much for inviting me. Even I got an insight about that long story, but it's always good to know.
All right, guys. This was me, Dr. Girish Likhani, your host, signing off. Goodbye and take care.